beautiful outside. I'm Janelle Martinez. We are going to check in with Java in just a minute. But first, we have a great story for you. The race is on to raise money for Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital. The 11th annual Cart for Kids Pro-Am race is 1 week from today. So far, the race has raised more than $1 million, and they're not slowing down anytime soon. Joining me now this morning is Jack Chamorro. He is the ambassador, and he is also a driver for Cart for Kids. And we also have Dr. Patrick Mulroney with Johns Hopkins. Thank you both for joining us this morning.
Good morning.
And Jack, we're going to start with you because you have a very interesting story, a perspective here, because not only did you race in this race, the Carts for Kids, but you also had an accident and then you became treated at the hospital that you helped to raise money for. So take me back to the accident. What happened?
Absolutely. So, I mean, racing, it can be a super aggressive sport, and I ended up going for a pretty bold move and ended up flipping, and I ended up with a concussion. But with the help of Cart for Kids, we were able to get back racing pretty quick. It was a great experience at Johns Hopkins, and we got a lot of great treatment.
Right, really and I guess that makes you want to do this even more because you're racing again to try to raise money, right? Yeah,
even before the accident, we were racing. I was in the Pro-Am, and it was a great experience. Me and my team, Motaz Sport, participated in the event, and we raised a fair amount of money. And even before we were planning to do this year, or even the accident, we were able to get a gracious sponsorship from Smith & Associates Real Estate.
Nice.
So it was really nice of them, and I'm really looking forward to this year.
Awesome. And this man right here treated you when you went to the hospital, right? So what was that like when you saw him come in? Did you recognize him? Did you know him?
So I do know Jack, and I had participated in the Cart for Kids Pro-Am. It's benefited our concussion program at Johns Hopkins for many years. They're one of the biggest sponsors of the hospital. And when Jack got in the accident, you know, he reached out to me through regular means and was cared for in our concussion center. So knowing what he does, knowing his kart racing, and knowing the connection to the hospital made the interaction much different than the average patient I'd care for.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you race go-karts, and behind us here, when I first walked out, I was like, wow, the go-karts have really changed. But explain to me why this car is here and a little bit more about the race.
So the Cart for Kids is a organization that is 100% volunteer, and they raise money for Johns Hopkins All Children's. They have an annual Pro-Am kart race that happens where professional drivers partner with sponsors and other drivers, just like you would in a golf Pro-Am. Okay. And those professional drivers, many of them race Indy cars, but some of them also race in the other races that happen during race weekend. So Cart for Kids actually kicks off that weekend with an event next Wednesday, and then that starts race weekend, which starts on Friday. Right. So the reason why the Indy cars here is because the organization was started to actually honor the life of Dan Weldon, who was an IndyCar driver from St. Petersburg who lost his life in a car. And it was a lot of his friends that got together and said that they wanted to give back to the community, and they did so by giving back to Johns Hopkins All Children's.
Right, and I know during the Pro-Am, it's basically all volunteers, right? So 100% of the money goes to the hospital, and that's fantastic, right?
Yes, these people that are involved give their time and energy and talents, and it's great because when the Pro-Am happens, it's 15 teams, and every one of the groups that is racing, that is, you know, a sponsor race group, is racing with a professional driver. So those professional drivers actually donate their time and are involved in giving back to the community as well.
Yeah. So Jack, I want to ask you real quick. So what made you want to get into kart racing in the first place?
I mean, I've always loved racing. I've always loved watching it. I love the mechanics of it. And about a year ago, we started going to Anderson Race Park, where the Pro-Am will take place this next weekend. And I got involved with the team there and the drivers, and just ever since then, I've become more and more obsessed, and it's been a great journey.
That's awesome. And so the Pro-Am is a week from today, and people can go out, right? You can watch it, you can help to raise money. There's an auction, right?
Absolutely. So the Cart for Kids event is on multi-layers to raise money for the hospital. One of them is the actual Pro-Am, which is happening next Wednesday. It starts at noon at Anderson Race Park, and people can come out and watch their favorite drivers and other people drive around the course and race each other, giving money back. But there's also a silent auction. One of the coolest silent silent auctions you could think of, because most of the items are signed by professional drivers. So if you have anybody that you know or love that you need to get a present for, or something that you want to add to your collection, the website offers those, and the silent auction is going on now, and that money goes back to the Cart for Kids Concussion Initiative. And one of the things that we're able to do is we're pushing research and pushing advancement, not just for the kids in St. Petersburg, but for people across the country and across the world with some of the work that we're doing.
Yeah, and so what is some of the work? What are some of the advances that we've seen in concussions? I know most sports are worried about that.
So this is not just for motor racing, of course. It's for concussion for any of the children that we can take care of. And they really support our research arm. And we've been able to do research studies looking at wearable technologies, looking at new diagnostic modalities, and then looking at our own experience. We are one of the biggest concussion centers in the country, and looking at the patients that we've seen and looking at what we've accomplished with caring for these patients, and then looking at how those patients have fared, maybe making predictive models in how we're going to care for children in the future.
That's great. So let's give the details one more time. The Pro-Am is next Wednesday in Palmetto at Anderson Park, right?
Yes.
And I guess the best place to find information is the website, I imagine.
Right. That's cartforkids.org, and it's the number 4, so it's cartforkids.org.
Okay, thank you both for being here so much, and good luck to you on the race day. You're not racing right now.
I actually am going to get behind the wheel.
Are you? Okay.
But hopefully my professional gets me ahead, because I'm not a very good driver.
That's awesome. Okay, well, we're going to put that website on your screen one more time. For more information, you can go to cart4, that's the number 4, kids.org. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
All right, coming up next in our Great Day Dining, we take you inside Timpano, the 20-year-old restaurant